know what I like about you is you are one of the few like adult figures I know that have not had nor have the desire to have children. And I respect that because I feel like a lot of people just are like, I want kids, I need kids.
So that's a couple things about that too. So when I met my wife, met her in 2008, she just graduated from Cal Poly, and we had been dating a little while, and she found out that I worked with kids because at the time I was coaching for a club swim team, and I was working with kids that were like 8 to 12. And she found that out, and she's like, "Oh, great! This guy's gonna want to have kids. This isn't gonna last very long. We'll just see how this goes."
Yeah.
And so we had trying to have a conversation about it. We're kind of like, don't really want to have kids. So it's been a mutual thing. Neither of us have wanted kids since we met, and that hasn't changed. And I think that a lot of people are amazing parents and live to be parents, and I think some people aren't. And I think that I've seen a lot of people that are like my age that have had kids that probably shouldn't have.
Yeah.
You know, I was hanging out with surfing with a friend, and for a little while he had a kid, and I stopped seeing him, and a year later I see him with his like little kid in like a front little loaded backpack, and he's like, just like, "Yeah, I just been with this guy the whole time." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I don't have kids." And he's like, "Oh yeah, that's cool. Don't." Like covers the kid's ears and just says, "Don't." And it's like, I don't know, I know there's no like life path that is good for everybody.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people that are like amazing parents and live for it, and it's like the stuff they do for their kids and with their kids is like mind blowing. But I'm not.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to go surfing whenever I want, and hang out with my friends and hang out with my wife, and and it's, for me, it's a matter of like maybe a little bit of selfishness. Like I want to live my life and not have to sacrifice however long it is to take care of somebody else. But yeah, so it's funny when I think about how old I am, because I'm kind of old, but I don't feel like it because I surf all the time and kind of do whatever I want.
Yeah.
So.
You don't look old, Dan.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah,
I think some of that has to do with me not having kids.
For real. I think the reason why I like envy and kind of like respect you like saying that is because personally I don't think I'm gonna have kids. It would have to be such a special circumstance to where like the only way I could see myself having kids is if I had a few like wives or partners, to the point where it's like, okay, I have a kid or two and there's like multiple people to take care of him or her, and I can still go do whatever the fuck I want to do, and there's still gonna be a few people at home, and like financial problems like aren't a thing, and you know, like my own time isn't really like on the line, and I can like still be there and like help when needed, but like my priority just can't be like a kid, or like,
I think that still qualifies as like I don't want to have kids because I don't want to raise kids.
Yeah.
Like, I will support someone else raising kids.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got a vasectomy in 2014 or so, and because it was like at the point where I was like, yeah, you know, things change, attitudes change, but it was like, yeah, we've been together for a long time. And we still both don't want to have kids, and I'm just gonna get a vasectomy, so fuck it. So I went to the doctor, and they're like, "Yeah, so how many kids do you have already?" I'm like, 0. And he's like,
"Are you sure you want to do this?"
They're like, most people that come in here already have a couple and don't want any more. And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good. I don't want them. Set on it."
Were they like, "Are you sure?" Or no?
No. The doctor. I mean, we had a little conversation about it. But I think the thing that sucks about making that decision, or maybe even not having that be a decision, but just having that be of like, I can't see myself wanting kids, or I can't see myself having kids, so that's not something I want in my life right now. And knowing that maybe that'll change, but all I know is that that's how it is right now.
Yeah.
So many people will tell you, oh, well, someday you'll change your mind.
That's what people have been telling me for like ever.
Yeah. Oh, well, when do you think you'll change your mind? And it's like, okay, like, look, like I can say, you can say that's the only topic that people will start questioning you the way that they do about like people will question the fuck out of you if you say you don't want kids. Like if I tell you I don't like this whiskey, you're not going to be like, well, someday you will.
Yeah.
You know, exactly. Or like, well, do you think you'll ever change your mind? It's not. So I start thinking that like maybe they're acting out of like, well, I had kids and I don't really want them. So like maybe you should suffer the way that I have. Not that everyone that has kids thinks like that, but there's definitely people that seeing when you're in high school, you don't see that. You just you see your peer group and everything, and there's a separation between adults and like high school kids. And then like as you go through college and everything, you start participating in things with other adults. You start to understand that mentality. And so you start seeing people with kids that don't like them, or you see people with kids that are phenomenal parents and like, I hope you have like 20 more because you're amazing.
Yeah.
But it tends to be the people that are unhappy with their own lives. They kind of tend to project that and say like, well, you should have kids because I did too.
Yeah.
You know, things like that.
There's definitely some sort of normative like brainwashing involved where like everybody around you is doing it, so like I'm gonna do it, and like a baby's so cute, like I really want to have a baby, like let's do it. And the thing is like a lot of people do that and they have no idea like the consequences that are about to unfold with having literally a human that you're about to produce, and now you need to take care of them and tend to every fucking need, you know? That like literally that's a lot of money. That's a lot of fucking money.
I've heard
you know?
I've heard figures something like $250,000 for a kid for the first 18 years of their life.
Jeez.
Something like that. I mean, I don't know how well you can put a number on something like that, but
I bet you that is, if not like less, or I mean, sorry, like probably more than 250K, probably more.
I mean, food, shelter, clothes, whatever. But I've definitely lost friends when they've had kids, not just because of like, now this person's busy with this thing, but now suddenly people that have kids have to hang out with other people that have kids because their kids have to hang out.
Yeah.
And so, you know, like, hey, like let's go like have dinner and go get a drink. Oh, I can't. I gotta be home for my kids. And okay. Well, you kind of the life path just kind of like separate.
Yeah.
You know, so I feel like I enjoy saying the freedom is the wrong thing, because I think that has like I think that's just sort of like a cliched buzzword about it, but I think that I enjoy having I just enjoy enjoying things and not being tied down to another human being.
The overwhelming like commitment, you know, it's super overwhelming. You go from,
I think it's overwhelming.
Yeah. I mean, I'm overwhelmed by like my own personal life, and this is me without a girlfriend, I know, right? Without a wife, without a fucking kid. Yeah. This is me with literally only 2 roommates, and I'm like, dude, like I'm trying to catch my breath. Yeah. You know, like fuck.
Life's hard, man.
Life's so fucking hard.
I don't want to provide it for somebody else too.
Yeah.
Like, I can barely do it for myself.